The Philippines and the United States agreed to fast-track the long-delayed conclusion of a crucial intelligence sharing agreement before the end of the year, amid shared concerns over an increasingly assertive China. In a briefing, Manila's ambassador to Washington, Jose Manuel Romualdez, says the renewed push to seal a general security of military information agreement within the year was one of the outcomes of a meeting between senior Filipino and American officials in Washington this week. Romualdez says that the officials are working overtime to seal the pact since the agreement is important to the defense strategy of the Philippines. Both sides have been negotiating to conclude a general security of military information agreement since late 2021, but deadlines to finalize the deal have been pushed back several times. According to officials, the agreement will formalize the intelligence sharing activities and form protocols in safeguarding top-secret information or technology transfer between the security allies. When asked about the reason behind the delays for the deal, Romualdez responds saying the government had to work on completing the needed resources to be able to complete the deal. Romualdez adds the two countries also agreed to conclude the security sector assistance roadmap by the end of the year. This roadmap of Washington security assistance lays out the delivery for priority defense platforms for Manila over the next 5 to 10 years. Senior officials from the Philippines and the U.S. were in Washington for the 11th Bilateral Strategic Dialogue on April 22 to 23. According to a joint statement, the meeting serves as the main annual platform for the two countries to discuss the full range of political, security, and economic cooperation, exchange views on current challenges and strategic priorities, and identify new collaborative initiatives. The meeting came 2 weeks after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. visited Washington for the historic trilateral summit with U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Marcos and Biden also met separately. A group pressing for the defense of Philippine sovereign rights over the country's exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea against China's encroachment is planning a voyage to Bajo de Masinloc to plant markers and deliver supplies to Filipino fishers next month. Akbayan President Rafaela David, who also serves as co-convener of Atin Ito, says her group will lead a peace and solidarity regatta of up to 100 fishing boats from Zambales province to the shoal on May 15. Atin Ito is a coalition of social activists, church leaders, fisherfolk, entrepreneurs, artists, and youth to defend Philippine sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea amid heightened maritime tensions between Manila and Beijing. David adds that the objective of the civilian flotilla is to reinforce the Philippines' territorial integrity. David notes that the fishing boats would sail from Masinloc town in Zambales. Upon reaching the vicinity of the shoal, the Filipinos would place symbolic markers with the words, "WPS is ours." According to Philippine Rural Reconstruction Movement President Edicio de la Torre, who is also an Atin Ito co-convener, the placement of the markers sends a resolute message saying that the West Philippine Sea is not up for grabs. Atin Ito has also invited international observers to join the voyage to monitor and document the situation in the West Philippine Sea and witness firsthand the challenges faced by Filipinos in those waters. De la Torre says that Filipinos must stand firm in defending the Philippines' rightful territories, especially in times of adversity. Meanwhile, David adds that the group is also planning to deliver essential supplies, including fuel, to Filipino fishers at Scarborough. The Department of Justice requests the issuance of a hold departure order against televangelist Apollo Quiboloy to ensure that he cannot leave the country and evade prosecution for his crimes. Two local courts in Davao City and Pasig City have already ordered the arrest of the founder and leader of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ for alleged human trafficking and violation of the Anti-Child Abuse Law or Republic Act No. 7610. In a briefing, Department of Justice spokesperson Assistant Secretary Miko Clavano says that prosecutors in the cases against Quiboloy have asked the courts to issue a hold departure order against Quiboloy.
I believe the prosecutors have already filed their motion to issue a hold departure order. These are normal legal processes that the prosecutors are very used to. So once you have a respondent or an accused that is a flight risk, especially given the resources that this person has, then the prosecutors are very diligent in making sure that that doesn't happen. No, that the accused is able to leave the country without actually facing the allegations in the proper forum.
Clavano also confirms that Quiboloy is still in the Philippines based on information received by the DOJ. Unqualified trafficking is a non-bailable offense, while a child abuse case has a recommended bail of 180,000 pesos for sexual assault and 80,000 pesos for maltreatment. Aside from the charges in Philippine courts, former President Rodrigo Duterte's spiritual advisor is also on the most wanted list of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation for conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, sex trafficking of children, and bulk cash smuggling. However, the Philippine Embassy in the United States has so far not received any extradition request for Quiboloy. Metro Manila and 31 other areas in the country are seen to experience temperatures in the dangerous heat index range on Friday, April 26, according to Pag-asa. The State Weather Bureau's weather station in Pasay City projects a heat index of 43 degrees Celsius, while its station in Quezon City has a forecast of 42 degrees Celsius. Dagupan City in Pangasinan is expected to hit the highest heat index today at 47 degrees Celsius, followed by Apari, Cagayan and Aborlan, Palawan at 46 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, other areas in the Philippines are seen to experience heat index of 42 to 45 degrees Celsius. According to Pag-asa, the danger category on the heat index ranges from 42 degrees Celsius to 51 degrees Celsius. Heat index under the danger category could likely cause heat cramps and heat exhaustion, while heat stroke is probable with continued exposure to the sun. Heat index measures the level of discomfort an average person experiences due to the combined effects of temperature and air humidity.